Hello, and welcome to our very first episode of Vanessa and Melissa.
You might already know us from social media as Diapers and Lip Gloss.
Yes.
We are vlogging and blogging and all over Instagram, but this is different. This is our parenting TV talk show, and we're really excited.
We are very excited, and we plan on talking about everything and anything to do with parenting, marriage, kids, you name it, we're going to talk about it.
Nothing's off limits.
That's right. Nothing. She said it. So people may think, there's a lot of similarities between Melissa and I, and that would be right. We're both moms, wives. We love
children.
Fitness. Yeah, we're moms. We have kids. We, our worlds kind of revolve around our kids. But there's also a lot of differences between us as well.
There is a lot of differences. Like she lets her kids live on the iPad all day.
Oh my goodness. Okay, this is where we're going to go head to head. My children know how to use an iPad. Melissa's children don't know how to turn on a device. So they live in the dark ages.
Different types of parents.
Yeah, we do. We have a bit of a different view on those things. But I did realize after allowing my kids to use an iPad that I did have to rein it in a little bit because they got overzealous and they wanted it all the time, and clearly that's not going to fly. It's not a good thing.
Right.
So,
and I had to come to the reality that either my device would have applesauce on it all the time because my kids were trying to use my device, or that I had to give in and let them, work around a little bit of technology.
Had to let them enter the century. Yeah, that's right.
Right, exactly. We are living in a world where tech surrounds us.
It's everywhere.
As parents, what the most important thing we feel like with regards to anything is to be educated. Yeah. So if you're going to allow something like a device, a tablet, anything into your family's lives, you should know about it.
And that's why we always want to talk to experts.
Because we're not the experts.
We're not the experts. We're the conduit. But we will get that expert information to you. So today we are talking with Kat Cood, and she is definitely a tech expert. She is the founder of Binary Tattoo, and she will help you manage your online identity. She will tell you how to keep your kids safe online. She is a wealth of knowledge. So hello, Kat.
Hello.
Thanks for chatting with us today.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And so what we want to kind of talk about is what parents should consider when they're thinking about bringing a tablet into the home.
Okay, so
are you ready for this one?
Yeah. No, this is one of those polarizing issues for parents, right? Like you were joking with each other, like should they be on it? Should they not be on it? I know, right? And I know people whose iPads babysit their kids a lot, and I know parents.
I never did that.
No judgment.
She's only saying it because
no judgment. And there's parents who will never let their kids on stuff, right? So that's fine. The American Pediatric Association used to have this flat line rule that it was 2 hours for kids who were older per day, and kids under 2 years old should never be on it at all.
And does that include screen time for a television too?
That was screen time, period.
And that's a scary thing because I think that's hard to actually do.
Right, so they've revised that. So that was in 2011, and then they finally came out with new standards. Now, I wish personally that they had drawn another line in the sand, because they haven't. Like, it would have been nice again if they'd said 4 hours or 2 hours, but they're being very wishy-washy, because like you guys said, in today's age, everything is on a screen, right? Like even the gas station pumps are on a screen. You cannot escape them.
Right.
Yeah. So now what they're saying is they're still advocating kids under 2 that probably shouldn't have screen time. But older children should have screen time, but be limited based on other activities. So are they playing outside? Have they done something creative? Are they doing something imaginative? Yes. Okay, well then they can also have screen time. But
so is there a balance?
Activity.
There's
a balance.
With other things. But the thought of a child under 2 with a device in front of them seems kind of crazy.
It does.
No? I don't know.
Okay, so
that's
young.
That's really young.
Yes, but the reality is, I mean, you had a 1-year-old and you played Twinkle Twinkle on a YouTube video once while you were trying to get them quiet at the doctor's office? Like, that is our reality. And you can't be like...
I guess I'm picturing someone under 2 on an iPad, but it's
there. So then the other issue, there's arguments now for kids maybe above 2, but let's say 2 to 6 who may not be good readers. So is there a place where tablets provide educational games where they can expand on learning that we can't provide for them, where they can't read or use a pencil yet, or maybe they don't write, but they can use a tablet to be educated, right? And so that's great. And then counter that with a lot of people who are saying kids are now coming into kindergarten with the inability to hold a pencil because they spend so much time with a tablet and less time actually writing.
That is very sad and unfortunate.
Yeah, and we don't have any long-term conclusive anything.
And that's another scary thing, because I think that one of my fears, and which is both of ours, is the safety of the tablet or the device near your child. I mean, she puts her child's tablet on a pillow.
I'm
before it's on their lap.
Right, because I read when you're pregnant, you don't put a laptop on your lap because of whatever's being emitted, right? So in my mind, I think, well, I have these little babies and they have reproductive systems that are building. Like, is something coming, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. Is something coming out of these tablets or phones or whatever into, like, radiating on their bodies? Like, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows,
And
right?
should
And
there
that's
be...
why I do that.
No, but you don't know.
I know.
But we don't know. We don't know what the effect now of all these emissions coming from left, right, and center
Right.
are on people.
Okay, so the pillow might be working, it might not, but I do it every time.
Maybe.
If pillows stop radiation,
Yeah. Like, what are the facts? Like, are they safe for kids?
For emissions?
Yes.
Like, again, they've been deemed safe, but that's the same thing as saying, like, we deem food safe,
And
right?
smoking was safe a million years ago, too, right? I'm sorry, just saying.
Yeah. So we don't know. We don't know for sure. Like, I don't work in that space.
No,
I'm not going to say for sure
Yeah.
yes or for sure no, but there is no long-term.
Okay.
But definitely the radiation and the proximity to your eyes is not a great thing for eyes that are shaping either.
Is there anything that parents should watch out for if they're looking at bringing a device into the home? Like any concerns that they...
Yes, from a technology perspective, absolutely. There's a lot of safety concerns, right? So there's different kinds of tablets that you can bring in. So the most popular thing is parents were buying iPads for kids or whatever tablet that they had as an adult, and they were giving them to their children. It's great. It's got easy access to games. It's fast, right? All that stuff. The issue is that they now have access to everything on the internet.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard of this or not before, but there's YouTube videos out there now, and I told you about this a little while ago, that kids are watching YouTube, and then all of a sudden there's someone else's voice over a cartoon, or there's things that the parents didn't even know the children were able to see.
Right.
So the internet, the Wi-Fi, you have to be really careful with that for young kids while using an iPad, of course.
If you're using a regular iPad, you need to be careful what they're downloading. You need to be watching to make sure. I always use the analogy when I talk to kids, if someone pulls up a truck and is selling free puppies, is it really free puppies? Like, probably not. But on the internet, you believe anything you see, and people are like, great game, and it's free. And people are like, awesome. But why is it free? What information are they taking off that device?
Yeah.
So are they planting viruses on your computer? You have to be wary of all this stuff. So,
So we have other devices here. Another one that is like a kid-friendly device called the Fable. So can you tell us about that one?
So the Fable is one of a line of kid-specific devices. Again, there's Samsung, and there's all sorts of tablets that are only for kids. The Fable comes with a Wi-Fi connection, but only to download their games. What's interesting about the Fable that I really like is you can actually set up an email address on it, and you can communicate with a preset list.
Like a safe list?
Yeah, so a
that's
safe list. And so kids can share their pictures and their projects with grandparents or family members, and so that's a really great thing. So these kid-safe devices are a great option for younger kids, if that's what you're looking for, because they only have access to a limited amount of the internet.
Both of our kids had access to the Fable, actually, and they liked it. So I felt safe for giving them this over the iPad, just with regards to the Wi-Fi, personally. And what about phones?
So all the social media sites have a minimum age of 13, right? So the question is, why are you giving your child a phone? What is it that they need? Do you need access to them? Can you just give them texting ability? If it's access, again, the same thing as an iPad, they've got unlimited access to the internet now. They can download anything. You have to be wary of things called ransomware. If you download the wrong app to your device, it can actually lock your device, and then you have to pay money to have it released. What you can call the cops. But
Who are these geniuses figuring these things out?
There's lots of malicious ways to get people. So but the phone and an iPad to me are the same area for a kid because they have access to anything. People are like, well, you can limit Wi-Fi within your own home, but your kid can take their Wi-Fi device to any Wi-Fi, like a Starbucks even, right? And then they can access anything.
So at the end of the day, we have to monitor, we've got to be responsible, and we've got to be safe, right? That's what we're saying here. Yeah. So thank you so much. You have amazing advice. You are so the expert, and we are going to come back to you for more questions later on because you're awesome.
Absolutely.